All right, if you're juggling resources across AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It feels like the Wild West, right? Your cloud environment is this chaotic, sprawling frontier. Well, today, we're not just going to talk about that chaos. We're going to build the blueprint to tame it, once and for all.
So let's just be real for a second. Your multi-cloud environment is probably a mess. You've got servers spinning up left and right, storage buckets appearing out of nowhere, and resources just getting left behind. It's a super common problem, this digital frontier with no sheriff and absolutely no rules. But look, this isn't just about being untidy. This kind of chaos has very real and very expensive consequences.
So for this first part, let's just dive right into the damage. What actually happens when this chaos is left to run wild? The problems are tangible, they're expensive, and they all spring directly from having a poorly governed cloud.
Okay, so here's the absolute crux of the issue. If you don't have a clear system for identifying what your resources are, you have no way to manage them. Period. You end up with these unattributable costs. Those expensive virtual machines that have been running for months with no clear owner. And even scarier, you have these massive security blind spots. Is that unpatched server a harmless test environment, or is it holding critical production data? Without a tag, you just don't know.
And this quote, this just nails the daily frustration perfectly, doesn't it? It's the voice of every single IT or FinOps manager, the people who are actually on the hook for the cloud bill, who stared at a billing report and felt completely powerless. This isn't some abstract, high-level problem. It is a concrete, expensive, and seriously risky headache.
And that headache just branches out into everything. You've got unattributable costs just bloating your budget. You've got security vulnerabilities popping up from unknown, unmanaged assets. You have massive operational inefficiency because teams are wasting precious time just trying to figure out who owns what. And of course, you have compliance nightmares when an auditor comes knocking and asks for an inventory you can't actually provide. See, these aren't four separate problems. They are all just symptoms of one single root cause, a total lack of governance.
But here's the good news. We can absolutely fix this. So now we're going to talk about the solution, a unified governance strategy. I want you to think of this as the new sheriff in town, the one who's here to bring some much-needed law and order to that chaotic Wild West we were just talking about.
So what does this law and order actually look like? Well, it's a concept we call unified tagging governance. This is basically a single centralized rulebook for applying metadata or tags to every single resource across all of your clouds. And let me be clear, this isn't just about being tidy. This is about embedding intelligence directly into your infrastructure to create a system that finally gives you real visibility, real cost control, and real security.
And look, for this strategy to actually work, it has to be built on these four non-negotiable principles. It has to be centralized, giving you one single source of truth. It absolutely must be automated, because let's face it, relying on humans to remember to do this is a recipe for failure. It needs to be enforceable, with real teeth and consequences for non-compliance. And finally, it has to be comprehensive, so it works seamlessly across AWS, Azure, and GCP. No exceptions.
Now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but it also sounds really complicated to build. Well, the beauty of this whole approach is that you can start building it with the native tools that each cloud provider already gives you. Just take a look at the tools that are probably already at your fingertips. AWS has Tag Policies. Azure has Azure Policy. GCP has Organization Policy. Yeah, they all have different names, but they all serve the same fundamental purpose. They are native policy engines that let you set rules and then enforce them. You don't need some complex, expensive third-party tool to get started. The foundation is already right there waiting for you.
Okay, this next part is really the heart of our whole explainer today. We are going to lay out the complete architectural blueprint for an automated system that doesn't just find problems. It actually fixes them.
This right here is the four-step automated workflow that brings your policy to life. So when a new resource gets created and it breaks the rules, the system automatically kicks into gear. First up, step 1, detection. The native policy engines instantly find that non-compliant resource. Immediately after, step 2, notification. The person who owns that resource gets an automated alert on Slack or in their email. Then comes the crucial step, step 3, quarantine. If that resource isn't fixed pretty quickly, the system automatically restricts it to limit any potential damage. And finally, step 4, resolution and reporting. The owner fixes the tag, the quarantine gets lifted, and the whole event is logged for auditors. The loop is closed, and it all happens automatically.
So, we've built the system. What's the payoff? Why go through all this? In this final section, we're going to look at the powerful business outcomes that come from achieving total visibility and control over your entire cloud estate.
This number really says it all. With a manual kind of hope-based approach to tagging, you might be lucky to get 50% compliance on a good day. But with an automated remediation system like the one we just designed, getting to 98% or even higher tag compliance isn't some fantasy. It is the expected outcome. It's what you should demand.
And what does 98% compliance actually get you? It gets you real, tangible business value. It means clear cost ownership, no more mystery charges on the cloud bill. It means automated security, because you can instantly tell if a resource is high-risk production or a low-risk dev environment. You get a simplified inventory that you can actually trust, and audits become practically effortless because you have the reports to prove your compliance, automatically generated.
So there you have it. We've laid out the entire blueprint, from total chaos to total control. It shows exactly how to turn the Wild West of multi-cloud into a well-governed, efficient, and secure environment. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. You've seen the blueprint, so is your cloud built to last?